Ignored and forgotten, this starship returned as a galactic titan. Today, she stood on the bridge of the Starship Erebus, a vessel unlike any other humanity had ever built. Its hull gleamed under the glow of distant suns, its engines humming softly, waiting to carry its crew into the unknown. "Captain, all systems nominal," said Lieutenant Marcos Hale, his voice steady but tinged with excitement. "We are ready for launch." Selene nodded. Her eyes scanned the bridge, landing briefly on her crew, engineers, scientists, navigators, and medics. Each one had been chosen not only for skill but for courage. They had trained for years for this mission, to explore the edge of the nebula cluster called the Perseus Expanse. Humanity had long dreamed of this voyage, hoping to discover new worlds, new resources, or even new life. "Set a course for Perseus Cluster. Engage at will," Selene ordered. The engines roared to life, and the Erebus lifted smoothly from the orbital dock, leaving Earth's bright blue behind. For a moment, everything felt perfect. This was the start of a journey that could define human history. But the universe, as always, had other plans. The mission had barely begun when the first doubts arose. Earth's governing council had been divided from the start. Some argued the mission was too costly, others claimed it was too dangerous. And now, a month into the journey, the first messages came, not from alien life but from the humans back home. "Erebus, this is Earth Command. Your mission is suspended. Return immediately." The words hit the crew hard. Selene stared at the comm panel in disbelief. "Suspended," she whispered. "They can't be serious." Hale shook his head. "They don't want us out there anymore, Captain. They think we're expendable." "Expendable?" Selene's voice rose. "We are not expendable. We are humanity's hope." The bridge was silent except for the low hum of the ship's systems. No one knew what to say. The mission they had trained for, dreamed about, and risked everything for was being dismissed before they had even left the solar system. Selene took a deep breath. She had faced impossible odds before and had learned to trust her instincts. "We will continue," she said finally. "This mission is bigger than politics. The Perseus cluster doesn't care about councils or votes. We go forward." The crew looked at her with renewed determination. They were human, they were resilient, and they would not be forgotten even if everyone else tried to forget them. Weeks passed. Supplies dwindled and communication with Earth became sparse. Occasionally, a brief message would arrive, reminding them that the Council had officially canceled their mission, that no one would come for them. The words stung, but the crew pressed on. And then they saw it, a vast, glowing cloud drifting through space, unlike anything humanity had ever recorded. It shimmered with colors that did not exist on any known spectrum. The Erebus approached cautiously. Sensors could not fully penetrate its surface. It seemed almost alive, moving with a purpose. "Captain, I don't know what this is," said Dr. Lena Hossain, the ship's chief scientist. Her voice trembled with awe. It's not natural. Something is inside it." "Something intelligent." Selene leaned over the console. "How intelligent?" "Hard to say. It reacts to us, our presence, even our thoughts. It's like it can read us." The crew exchanged uneasy glances. Humanity had always hoped to find life in the stars, but this was beyond anything they had imagined. The cloud, this intelligence, was powerful, and they were small. Still, Selene knew that to retreat now would be to admit defeat. "We study it," she said firmly, "carefully. We learn what it wants, we make contact." The next few days were tense. The Erebus maneuvered around the energy cloud, taking readings and sending out signals. At first, nothing happened. Then, slowly, the cloud began to respond. It pulsed, sending faint energy patterns that the crew could barely understand. Holographic displays lit up with alien equations, shifting in ways no human mind could immediately comprehend. Dr. Hossain worked tirelessly, translating and decoding. "It's incredible," she said one night. "It's offering to merge with the ship, not physically but intellectually. It wants to share its knowledge with us. The bridge fell silent. To merge with an alien intelligence was risky, perhaps fatal. But the alternative, turning away, meant abandoning the greatest opportunity humanity had ever encountered. Selene made her decision. "We accept," she said, carefully, step by step. The integration began. Slowly, the ship's systems evolved. Engines became more efficient. Shields adapted to cosmic radiation automatically. Navigation systems learned from the stars themselves, plotting courses humans had never imagined. The crew watched in awe as the Erebus transformed from a human-built starship into something greater, a hybrid of human ingenuity and alien power. But with power came responsibility. The cloud, this intelligence, was not just a tool. It had its own awareness, its own will. Sometimes it communicated cryptically, offering advice that sounded like riddles. "Captain," Hale said one day, "the ship, it's changing. I can feel it. We are not in command anymore in the way we used to be. The Erebus is alive." Selene did not reply immediately. She felt it too. Every system, every pulse of the engines, every flicker of the lights felt like a heartbeat. Humanity had created a starship capable of exploring the galaxy. Now, humanity shared that ship with something alien, something far older than Earth itself. Time passed differently in the Perseus expanse. Days, months, and years blurred as the ship and the intelligence learned from each other. Crew members aged, but their bond with the Erebus grew stronger. Every problem they faced, from asteroid fields to hostile cosmic storms, was overcome by human determination amplified by alien insight. Yet, even as they grew in power and knowledge, a quiet sadness lingered. They were forgotten. Earth had moved on. Governments had other priorities. Humanity, their home, had dismissed them. And the Erebus floated in the void, a forgotten ship on the edge of the galaxy. But Selene refused to mourn. "We may be forgotten by Earth," she said one evening, standing alone on the bridge staring at the endless stars. "But we are not forgotten by the universe, and one day we will return." The stars shimmered as if in agreement, and then came the first warning. Sensors detected a small, sleek alien vessel approaching at impossible speed. Its intent was unclear. Communication was attempted, but no response came. "Captain," said Hale, his voice tense, "they're heading straight for us, weapons armed." Selene's heart beat faster. She looked at the glowing forms of the Erebus, feeling the pulse of the alien intelligence within. They had never faced hostility like this before, but they had adapted. They had survived, and they would fight. "Prepare defenses," she ordered. "But remember, our mission is exploration. Avoid destruction if possible. We may be humanity's last hope to understand what's out here." The crew worked in perfect synchrony with the ship's intelligence. Shields shimmered, energy diverted automatically, and weapons systems calibrated with impossible precision. The alien ship fired first. The Erebus dodged with movements no human pilot could have executed alone. For hours, the battle raged silently in the void. The Erebus learned from every attack, predicting trajectories, adjusting shields, countering maneuvers. Slowly, the alien ship retreated, overwhelmed by a combination of human ingenuity and alien augmentation. The bridge erupted in cautious relief. The crew had survived. And they had proven something important, not to Earth, not yet, but to themselves. Humanity, though ignored, could endure. Humanity, though forgotten, could rise. Selene stood at the helm, looking out at the stars once more. "This is only the beginning," she said quietly. "The Erebus will not remain forgotten forever. One day we will return." And somewhere deep in the ship, the alien intelligence pulsed in agreement, as if promising that the stars themselves were listening. Years passed, and the Erebus drifted far from human eyes. The Perseus cluster stretched endlessly, stars glowing like scattered diamonds across the black sea of space. Earth no longer sent messages. Humanity had forgotten them, or at least it had tried. But aboard the Erebus, the forgotten crew and their ship were far from idle. Captain Selene Rivas paced the bridge, her hands clasped behind her back. The ship hummed softly beneath her feet, alive in ways she still struggled to understand. The alien intelligence, silent yet ever-present, was no longer just an augmentation. It had become a partner, a silent mentor. The Erebus itself pulsed with quiet power, reshaping its systems, learning from the galaxy, and adapting to dangers no human could face alone. "Captain," said Lieutenant Marcos Hale, eyes scanning the glowing consoles, "the sensors have picked up another ship, alien origin, this one different, larger, heavily armed and heading in our direction." Selene turned sharply. "Again?" Hale nodded grimly. "It seems we're drawing attention." The Erebus had evolved far beyond a simple starship. Its engines no longer merely pushed it through space. They bent energy around it, allowing it to accelerate faster than any known vessel. Shields responded to threats even before they arrived. Weapons were precise, adaptive, and nearly impossible to predict. Humanity had built the foundation. The alien intelligence had constructed the masterpiece. "Prepare for contact," Selene ordered. "But we are explorers, not invaders. I want no unnecessary destruction." As the alien vessel drew closer, the crew noticed something strange. Its weapons glowed with energy unlike anything they had encountered before. The ship did not fire immediately. Instead, it pulsed, sending out a low-frequency signal. The Erebus's alien intelligence responded almost instantly, translating patterns too complex for human minds to read alone. "They are communicating," Dr. Lena Hassing whispered. Her voice trembled with excitement. "It's not hostile, at least not yet. It's testing us." Selene leaned forward. "Testing? Yes, they are evaluating our power, our speed, our shields. They are curious or cautious." The tension on the bridge was thick. The crew had survived small encounters before, but nothing like this. This was the first truly advanced civilization they had encountered. One wrong move could mean destruction, not just of the Erebus, but of everyone aboard. "Let us show them what humanity is," Selene said quietly. "We don't fight out of hate. We fight to survive and protect." The alien ship pulsed again, and suddenly, the space around the Erebus shifted. Stars seemed to stretch and bend as if the very fabric of space were responding to the intelligence aboard the ship. The crew's breath caught. The ship was no longer just a machine. They were co-pilots in a vessel that had learned to think, adapt, and grow with them. The first engagement came without warning. Energy beams streaked toward the Erebus at impossible speed. The ship responded instantly, shields flaring to life, bending the beams away like water flowing around a rock. Humans could barely comprehend the reaction time. Their alien partner calculated trajectories, countermeasures, and evasive patterns in milliseconds. "Captain, we can neutralize their weapons," Hale said, eyes wide. "If we strike back carefully, we can show strength without destroying them." Selene nodded. "Do it. Let them know humans are not to be underestimated." The Erebus responded with precision, disabling the alien vessel's energy projectors with pulses of concentrated force. The ship spun, avoiding further damage, but it was clear the aliens understood one thing: humans were not weak. For hours they maneuvered in the void, testing each other, learning, pushing limits. And through it all, Selene's crew marveled at what they had become part of. Humanity, though ignored, had grown stronger in the void. And the Erebus, once a forgotten experiment, was now a galactic powerhouse, capable of feats that could rival entire star fleets. Weeks turned into months, and the Erebus continued its exploration. They discovered new star systems, planets with strange ecosystems, and even remnants of civilizations that had vanished long ago. Each discovery strengthened the bond between humans and their alien partner. The ship was no longer just a tool. It was a living archive of knowledge, learning faster than the crew could follow. Dr. Hassin often spent hours decoding the ship's insights. "Captain," she said one day, "the ship has learned more about cosmic energy manipulation than humanity could hope to in centuries. It's amazing. We are witnessing evolution in real time." Selene smiled faintly. "We may have been forgotten by Earth, but we are remembered by the universe." Yet even as they explored, threats emerged. A massive alien war erupted in a distant system, and the Erebus stumbled upon it. Two civilizations clashed with devastating firepower, and a human colony lay directly in the path of destruction. "We cannot allow them to die," Selene said firmly. "This colony is human. They are innocent." The crew nodded. This was their chance to prove themselves, not just to Earth, but to the galaxy. The Erebus moved faster than any other ship, its alien-enhanced engines bending space, weaving through the battlefield. Shields flared, energy pulses redirected attacks, and weapons fired with unerring accuracy. Hours later, the battle ended. The colony survived intact, and both alien factions paused, stunned by the ship's abilities. For the first time, humans in the galaxy began to see that they were no longer insignificant. The Erebus, once forgotten, had become a savior. News eventually reached human space, not from Earth, but from other civilizations. Tales of a strange, powerful ship capable of incredible feats spread through galactic networks. Scientists, diplomats, and explorers all wondered, who were these humans and how had they gained such strength? On the bridge of the Erebus, the crew received the first direct message from Earth in decades. Selene read it aloud. "Erebus, we have received reports of your actions. Humanity, we did not expect this. Return home, explain yourselves." The bridge erupted in murmurs. After years of being forgotten, humanity was finally being acknowledged, but Selene remained cautious. "Earth does not understand us yet," she said. "They think they can control what they cannot. We must show them what it truly means to be human, and that means trust, courage, and moral strength." Hale nodded. "They have no idea what they're dealing with." Selene smiled faintly. "Then it's our duty to teach them." The Erebus's next challenge came from a coalition of alien powers, alarmed by the human ship's rapid rise. Dozens of warships converged on their location, determined to eliminate the unknown threat. The battle was unlike anything the crew had faced before. Energy beams carved through space, massive vessels collided, and explosions lit the void in colors unseen by human eyes. But the Erebus adapted. Shields became nearly impervious. Engines bent reality itself to avoid collisions. Weapons fired in patterns that even the aliens could not predict. Through it all, Selene and her crew worked in perfect harmony with the ship's intelligence. Every decision, every maneuver, was a combination of human instinct and alien calculation. Slowly, the alien fleet was forced to retreat, unable to match the adaptability and ingenuity of the hybrid vessel. For the first time, humans realized that their ingenuity, combined with this ancient intelligence, was a force that could not be ignored. As the dust of battle settled, Selene stood on the bridge, gazing at the stars. She thought of Earth, of the people who had dismissed them, and of the crew who had refused to give up despite being forgotten. The Erebus was no longer just a ship, it was a symbol. A living testament to human determination and courage. Dr. Hassin approached her quietly. "Captain, I think we're ready, ready to return, ready to show humanity what we have become." Selene nodded. "Yes, but not as soldiers, not as conquerors. We return as humans who dared to survive, to learn, and to rise. The Erebus will remind the galaxy, and Earth, what it truly means to be human." The ship hummed in agreement. It had learned much, grown much, and now it was ready for its next chapter. The Erebus was no longer ignored. It was no longer forgotten. It was becoming a galactic titan. The stars shone brighter than ever in the void before the Erebus. After years of exploration, battle, and evolution, the ship was no longer a simple vessel. It had become a galactic titan, a living legend powered by the ingenuity of humans and the wisdom of an ancient alien intelligence. Its engines hummed with quiet authority, its shields glimmered like 1,000 suns, and the very air aboard the ship seemed charged with anticipation. Captain Selene Rivas stood on the bridge, staring at the distant speck of blue and green, Earth. For decades it had forgotten them, dismissed them, and declared their mission a failure. Now, after years of surviving unimaginable dangers, the Erebus was returning not just as a ship, but as proof that humanity could rise above any obstacle. "Captain," said Lieutenant Marcos Hale, voice tight with emotion, "this is it. Earth knows we exist now. They've seen what we've done in the galaxy." Selene nodded quietly. "Yes, but they do not yet understand. They think we are weapons. We must show them something more." The first contact with Earth came not with celebration, but with caution. Military ships and diplomats gathered near Earth orbit, their sensors trained on the approaching Erebus. Messages poured in, demanding explanations. The humans aboard the station watched nervously. Would they be welcomed as heroes or treated as threats? Selene's voice rang clear over the comms. "People of Earth, we are your creation, but we are also something more. We have explored the stars, faced dangers beyond imagination, and survived when you believed we were lost. We return not to conquer, but to share knowledge, to protect, and to remind humanity what it means to endure." There was silence. For a long moment, Earth seemed stunned. Then a voice broke through, a scientist from the United Earth Council. "Captain Rivas, the reports, the colonies you saved, the alien fleets you faced, it's incredible. Humanity underestimated you. We see now what we lost." Selene held her breath. Recognition at last. Not just for the Erebus, but for every human who had dared to believe, to fight, and to survive in the void. The Erebus's presence transformed Earth. Governments, once focused on petty politics, now looked outward with a new perspective. Scientists clamored to learn from the ship, diplomats sought alliances across the galaxy, and the people, inspired by the tales of survival and ingenuity, began to dream bigger. Humanity, long considered insignificant among the stars, was finally being seen as clever, resilient, and courageous. But Selene knew that true leadership was more than power or recognition. It was about choice, responsibility, and moral courage. She gathered her crew on the bridge. "We have become strong," she said, voice calm but commanding. "Stronger than we ever imagined. But strength without purpose is meaningless. We must guide humanity with wisdom, not fear. We must use this power to inspire, not dominate." Hale nodded. "The galaxy will watch us now. Every decision we make will set the tone for humanity's future." Selene's gaze swept the stars beyond Earth. "Then we set the example. Humanity is capable of greatness. We will show them what it truly means to be human." Their first challenge came quickly. Reports reached Earth of a galactic threat, a coalition of alien factions intent on dominating human space, assuming humans were weak and unprepared. Entire star systems faced invasion, colonies burned, and populations fled in panic. Selene and the Erebus did not hesitate. "We are not just returning," she said. "We are defending humanity and proving that being human is something to respect, not underestimate." The Erebus moved through space with unmatched speed and precision. Shields flared to deflect energy blasts, engines twisted reality to outmaneuver enemy fleets, and weapons struck with perfect timing, disabling enemy ships without unnecessary destruction. But it was not only force that won the battles. Selene and her crew used strategy, intelligence, and empathy. They negotiated with factions, showing that humans were not mere aggressors but diplomats capable of reason. Slowly the coalition fractured, understanding that humans could fight, adapt, and survive like no other species. The galaxy watched, and the name Erebus became a legend. Even as the battles ended, the Erebus's influence spread. The alien intelligence within the ship helped humanity understand advanced technology, energy manipulation, and interstellar strategy. Scientists developed faster-than-light travel inspired by the ship's methods. Colonies became thriving hubs of human ingenuity, guided by lessons learned from a ship that had once been ignored. On the bridge, Selene looked at her crew, older now but wiser, their faces lined with years of survival and triumph. "We came here as explorers," she said. "We return as leaders, teachers, and protectors. Humanity has changed, and we have changed with it," Dr. Hassing smiled. "We have become part of something bigger than ourselves." Hale added, "Something no one could have imagined when we left Earth." Selene nodded. "Yes. We have become the galactic titan humanity needed, not for glory but for hope." The final test came not from aliens or war but from Earth itself. Some leaders, still fearful of the Erebus's power, demanded control of the ship, hoping to weaponize its abilities. Selene faced a difficult choice: submit and risk losing humanity's independence, or stand firm and show that humans could govern themselves responsibly. "We are not your weapons," she said to the council. "We are your example. We fight not for domination but for survival, justice, and knowledge. Humanity must choose its own path, not be guided by fear of power." The council was silent. They had underestimated humans for decades. Now, standing before a living symbol of human ingenuity, they understood that strength alone was meaningless without courage, wisdom, and moral integrity. In the months that followed, humanity embraced a new era. Colonies flourished, scientific discoveries accelerated, and humans established themselves as a respected civilization among the stars. Other species, once dismissive of humanity, now looked to humans with curiosity and respect. The Erebus, ever watchful, guided without dominating. Its alien intelligence continued to teach, protect, and enhance, always in harmony with its human crew. Together, they had proven that humanity's greatest strength was not just technology or firepower, but creativity, courage, and the refusal to be forgotten. Selene stood on the bridge one last time before the ship entered a peaceful orbit around Earth. She looked at the blue planet teeming with life and smiled. "We were ignored and forgotten," she said softly, "but we returned not just as survivors, but as a testament to what humans can achieve." The crew gathered around her. Hale placed a hand on her shoulder. "We've done it, Captain. Humanity will never doubt itself again." Selene nodded. "No, and we will continue to guide them not as rulers but as examples of what humanity can truly become." The Erebus pulsed softly, almost as if in agreement. Its systems glimmered with energy, a quiet heartbeat echoing the courage, wisdom, and resilience of its human crew. The ship had transcended its original purpose. It was no longer just a vessel. It was a galactic titan, a living symbol of human potential and ingenuity. As Earth watched, the Erebus began a new journey, not into the unknown but as a mentor, protector, and guide. Its legacy was not weapons, wars, or domination. Its legacy was hope. It was proof that humans, even when ignored and forgotten, could rise beyond expectation, defy the impossible, and leave a mark on the galaxy that no one could erase. And so, humanity entered a golden age. Stars that had once been distant and mysterious now felt like home. Civilizations learned from humans, colonies thrived, and the galaxy knew that humanity was clever, resourceful, and unyielding. The Erebus watched over it all, its alien intelligence harmonized with the human spirit. Together, they had turned neglect into triumph, obscurity into legend, and a forgotten starship into a galactic titan. In the endless black of space, the stars themselves seemed to shine brighter, as if celebrating humanity's rise. And somewhere deep within the living ship, the heartbeat of the Erebus echoed a simple truth: humans are never truly forgotten. They endure, they adapt, they rise, and they are unstoppable.